It's finally time to show you my haul of hauls. Hey, it's Kara. Welcome to my take at the lake. It's very cozy here. I've got my cup of coffee. Yes, it's coffee. Super sweet, nice and hot. And a blazing fire going. This bag is full of the bounty, or the booty, or whatever you want to call it. This has the good stuff in it, where I lost my ever-loving mind. But I always save the best for last. So stick around and I'll show you what I found. Whoop, whoop. The big score is another word for it. I got all kinds of stuff going on here. Still in the midst of my studio move. If you've not seen it, go to the community tab on my channel's homepage. Scroll over to community tab, hit the community button. There's a couple pictures there of my studio mess and a link to take you over to Patreon so you can see more pictures and get the full story about the studio move. I'm in the middle of that still. That is ongoing. So this is probably one of the last few videos I'm going to do in this studio for junk journaling, I think. Who knows at this point, but that's what I'm thinking. So I don't want to forget this. And this is not from St. Vinny's. This is from Walmart. But apparently I was taking myself on a shopping spree and bought it for a journal cover. I hope you can see that there's glitter, opalescent glitter wherever there's snow. And it is just sparkly, wonderful, beautiful. And it is a gift bag. I got all this stuff before Christmas. And this is the first time I've had a chance to go through it. So, quite frankly, what's in these bags is going to be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. I don't remember. I know what's in the booty bag. I don't know about the rest of it. But I got this bag to make a journal cover. Now, it's too tall, so I'll probably cut it down a little bit so I can have a small journal and a regular sized journal made of this gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Needed it, wanted it, got it. This is fun. There was a dozen and I've already used one. They're just really nice sized storage jars. This would make good storage for things like different confettis, or when you punch things out with paper punches, storing them in here so you'd have all flowers and all stars and all, so you wouldn't have to dig through. There's all kinds of uses for something like this. It's especially helpful that they're see-through, especially for the little things. It looks like they'll stack nicely if I need them to do that. They seal nice and tight, so if it is something small like glitter, I don't think they'll leak all over the place. So there's a lot of uses for something like this. It looks to me like they were brand new, never used. 12 for $3. By the way, keep a running tab because today's giveaway is all about how much did I spend at St. Vinny's this time. And I'm going to show you 2 hauls, same day. I had to check out and I was planning to leave, especially when I got that particular part of the bill. Oh my God, I've never spent that much at St. Vinny's ever. I went out and I checked on Bitsy, who was waiting for me patiently in the car that I leave running with the heat going for her and the radio, so she has company. But I wasn't able to go in to the book section of the store, so I checked on Bitsy. She was snapping away, happy girl. Went back and spent some more money in the book section of St. Vinny's. So the total price, rounding up to the nearest dollar, if you want to play along, keep kind of a running total and then give a guess as to what you think the actual number rounding up to the nearest dollar would be. And I will send you some happy mail or a digital kit. So keep a running track. That was $3 for 12 empty containers, which, most people would look at us and go, you paid $3 for 12 empty jars. Okay. And you're not canning? Off your nut. But we are junk journalers, and that kind of stuff helps organize us. And we need all the help in that area that we can get. So now I'm just going to go randomly and open these bags and see. Every one of them is full. I have several. So grab your own cup of something. Grab a chair and hang out with me. I'm only going to do it in one long video because no one ever comes back for part 2. I shouldn't say no one because there are a few of you who are just lovely, diligent, vigilant, fabulous viewers who watch everything, but most do not. So I'm just going to do one video. I want to do a purple journal of some sort, a purple altered book, a purple project of some sort. I've been collecting purple stuff. This is a beautiful piece of purple gingham that I can use to cover a book that I may want to alter, although I do have several purple covered books, so they wouldn't have to do much to it. I could just use this to cover the spine of a purple book. I could use this for tabs on said purple book. There's all kinds of uses for nice material in junk journaling. Tag toppers, page edging, bookmark toppers, bits of clusters. If you're into slow stitching, use your scraps for wonky hearts like Janet Nash makes. There's all kinds of things to do with this, and this was $1.59, $1.60. So it feels it's at least a yard of fabric. Some things aren't going to have a price, so it's not as straightforward as you might think. Well, I'll just write down every price she says. Not everything is marked, and I may forget to tell you the price by accident or on purpose. First of all, I'm going to unroll this and cut a chunk of it off before we talk about it, because it's disgusting. And we're going to just put that right in the trash. This is a wallpaper border, and I am doing a lodgy style junk journal for my cousin who has a big room. His den is all in this lodgy style. And so it's these beautiful vintagey looking signs that say all kinds of things: cabins, fishing gear, tech shop, lodge, boat ramp, outfitters since 1897. It's just wonderful. Now, like I said, that first part of it was junky. I didn't want to touch it. It was disgusting. In fact, I'm going to throw the bag away because that's gross too. But once you unwrap it, it's kind of junky toward here at the end too, but that's right. Now it's fairly workable, nice and clean. It's a huge, it's almost a whole roll. This core will come in handy too. This is a great circle size to dip and paint if you want to make circles on your painting papers or circles on background pages or whatever. This core is a great, and it's nice and sturdy. It can take getting wet. It's pretty hardy, so even the core will come in handy. You hear some noise in the background. I put Bitsy's lunch in her puzzle, and she is working away at it. Let's see, what else do I have in here? It was before Christmas, so they had all their Christmas stuff out. I had to have him, bah humbug, in his little sparkly tuxedo and this little shiny cane, wishing you a dickens of a good holiday. That will go perfectly in a Christmas junk journal. It'd be a fun card to send to somebody, though I'm not going to part with it. You gotta know that, right? I'm keeping it. The envelope always comes in handy. I could tuck it into its envelope and attach this as a tip-in. It would be a nice interactive addition to a junk journal, or if you glue this down and someone would have to pull the card out to read it. Of course, it could be used as a journal card inside and out if you want to use it that way. You could take it apart, cut that out. If I were going to take it apart, it's just folded, so there'd be the piece with the pug on it and this wonderful red and green stripe to be used again as a journal card, as a tip-in, as tags or tabs, bits of collage, bits of cluster, and then use this. Could use just the phrase, or use it as I said, as a journaling card. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to use this one single card. If I didn't want to keep it in the envelope, envelopes make their own great journals. Another thing you can do with envelopes, a lot of times at the thrift stores, they'll have bags of just various sizes of envelopes. Take and fold it in half. Either way, it doesn't matter. But you fold it in half this way, and when you do, you end up with a nice little, I'm not going to fold it because I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but you end up with a nice little tuck here and a nice little tuck here. That can serve as a page. It can serve as a journal cover. So just the envelopes are super useful as well. Hey, Bits, are you all done lunch? Since Since I started junk journaling and watching junk journal videos on YouTube, of course, there's a lot of napkin art and a lot of use for napkins in junk journals, in collage, in art journals. There's so many things you can do with napkins, and I just wasn't finding any cool napkins. Now, whenever I see napkins that I think are pretty cool, I snatch them up. This is, I don't know, 12 or so. Of course, this is from Harry Potter, and they're pretty awesome. They even have something on the back. Oh, they have something all over. They've got the wand and the owl. So every panel has something on it, Harry Potter related, which is awesome. I will be selling some napkin packets too. If you're interested, shoot me an email. Brand new Deck the Halls stickers, 3-dimensional frame, 3-dimensional title bars. What is the little poinsettias are 3-dimensional. They're just awesome. Brand new. They were a whopping $1.44 when they were full price. These were 99 cents. Screaming good deal. Even at full price, that would be a screaming good deal. This another 99 center. This is a brand new roll of 8 yards of white tulle. Again, back to Janet Nash. If you haven't seen her make magic with her scraps and tulle, she puts just teeny tiny bits of scraps on a piece of material and then covers it with tulle. Let me back up. Then she sprinkles sequins and shiny bits in there, and it's all just random. Then she covers it with tulle and then sews it randomly. And what she comes out with is nothing short of super, super, super cute. There were, I don't know, 10 rolls of these, probably left over from a wedding. I think I only grabbed the one because I don't do a lot of sewing, but I do want to try that someday, sometime. So now I have 8 yards to play with. Going back to the cards and the envelopes, I absolutely love, here's another 99 center. They were $7 to begin with, so I got them for 99 cents. Beautiful teal envelopes, still sealed in the package, so 12 envelopes and 12 cards. Now again, these cards can be painted. They're beautiful colors. It does look kind of graduation-y, sort of. It's hard to tell. They're all different kinds of bells, so it could be anything. I love just the color and the vibrancy of it, but you could paint over them. You could glue over them. You could collage over them. Make great journal covers. As they are, fold them in half for even smaller journal covers and hardier. The envelopes, put them all together and make a beautiful teal colored journal. If you're doing a colors glue book, having a teal envelope in the back of it to tuck some little bits in would be a fun idea. All kinds of things that you can do with envelopes and or cards, and they don't have to match. These happen to match each other, but I probably won't use them together. This little guy, 59 cents. It's just a tiny little notebook made of super soft. The paper is kind of like, I don't even know what it is. It's super soft, almost pearly, not quite pearlescent, and it's just so simple. But it's a good chunk of a little guy. I got it because I really like it. The paper is just a good scrapbook paper. It's nice and thick. It may have been stenciled or stamped. It may have come like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But this would make a great gift for someone to make these little sized journals. A couple pages were torn out, and that's all right. But it's a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, super easy to make. And I bought it just for inspiration because it's so cute and I love the feel of it. This paper feels almost leathery. It's wonderful. I love, love, love it. Wooden hearts, they just come in handy. They're fun to paint. They're fun to, you could easily drill if you have a Dremel or a little hand drill. You can easily, even maybe a good pokey tool would poke through this thin wood. But they're all hearts. Put them on as book bling dangling from the spine of a journal. Use them as a 3-dimensional thing, just like you would use something like this. Glue it onto a tag, make bookmarks or journal cards or embellishments or clusters, and then using this as the top centerpiece of it. Paint them, ink on them. I'll bet you could stamp on them really well. And just, there's enough here to just play with. Take your painty papers, glue them on, and then use either a pretty harsh fingernail file or a sanding block and sand off the edges so that you end up with just a beautiful covered heart to match any journal that you're working on or any altered book that you're making. Endless possibilities. That was 59 cents. Little Amsterdam standard series, which I would imagine means if Amsterdam has a professional line, this would be the student line. I don't know. Beautiful Halloween colors. I'm always into black. Neon green neons are fun to use. The orange, fall, Halloween, to make painty papers for Halloween or for fall, to paint up the hearts or paint the cover of a book or use in art journals. Endless uses for acrylic paints. Now, because these aren't the regular craft paints that you shake up in a little bottle, these are going to be a little bit thicker, have a little bit more body, probably a little more staying power than just regular craft paint. This is the kind of acrylic paint that you would probably paint a painting with if you wanted to, but certainly lots and lots of uses for it in the craft room, making junk journals, altered books, art journals, painty papers. Some Tiffany blue, almost, ribbon with the teeniest, tiniest little snowmen on it. A variety of rubber stamps. This is a quote about hope. $1.99 for this one. Obviously, it's got this big ugly butterfly on it. I would probably either only ink it this much or take a knife and cut out the butterfly, because you know how I feel about butterflies. Love them in my garden. Don't want them on every page of every journal of every project ever made. So I would cut those out probably. Take an X-Acto knife and axe them. Some texture. These are some bubbles with some words. And I would use my rubber stamp, I'd ink and see what it says and show you, but that's all downstairs and I'm not. So in the interim, things are going to be a righteous pain in the arse because stuff is downstairs and I need it here and vice versa. So I got to get my butt in gear and finish what Leanne and I started a couple of weeks ago. Again, I have no idea what this says. It's a nice font, fun font. So I will stamp it, see what it says. If I like the quote, fine and dandy. If I don't like the quote, I can just redonate it. I think that's all the stamps. These little guys were just loose in the basket. She probably charged me 59 cents for them because that's what some of these other things were. They were all just loose. They weren't in a package at all. Now this one is 59 cents, two more, border stamps, super simple. Generic stuff like that comes in so handy because you can use it in any project. Little iron-on appliques. I probably won't be ironing them on. I will be Fabri-tacking them on. They were $1.93. Got them for 59 cents, and they're so detailed. They're so cute. Yes, we're still in the first bag, and I have 4 more bags, so like I said, get comfy. These look kind of old, maybe they're not, but they're buttons, little Noel buttons. Tiny little shank. You can sew them on the cover of a journal. You can easily snip those shanks off with a pair of sharp pliers, probably, or snips of some sort. Just break them off. Then you can glue them on anything, and I just thought they were so cute. I might just leave them intact on what looks to me, I might grunge this up so it looks more like a vintage sewing notion and put it in my vintage Christmas book. Because paper is paper is paper is paper. And it's all fodder for junk journal pages or collage fodder or gluing into an altered book in some way. Wrapping paper counts as well. So this was a 99-cent pack of all kinds of different wrapping papers. The majority of them are dog related, so I had to have them. Dogs and bees. Why would you do that? But look how fun these are for a colors journal, for my dog journals, for primary pages, for just something to brighten up a journal. I have a purple book going. I mean, there's all kinds of things for fussy cutting. What do the back pages look like? Are they? Oh, They're for guiding eyes for the blind. So they were a fundraiser or a thank you for donating to somebody, for donating. Thank you to somebody for donating. Little paw prints with hearts in the middle. Snowflakes, more snowflakes and paw prints, hearts. This is really cool. This would go in my cousin's vintage Logi journal that I was just talking about. Wonderful vintage colors. This one's just plain on the back, so it's not well, maybe it is. What does it say? National Wildlife Federation. That's where that's from. So again, fundraisers. Look at these teeny little adorable penguins. They're so cute. I love the soft minty green color of the back. And these are from the National Wildlife Federation. So you could kill two birds with one stone. You could help support the National Wildlife Federation and support your junk journal habit with all the stuff that they send you. This one's, you know, just Christmassy, not dog related. Just Christmassy, not dog related. But that's all right, because most of these are dog related. Again, that one was 99 cents. Boy, did I have a good time or what? Cheese and crackers. Another thing that when you donate to places like this, that they'll send you as a thank you card are these little notebooks. Pull one out at random. This one has tiny little sugar cookie hearts, it looks like. And this is from St. Jude's Hospital. Now, I got this. I think the last video I called Sue Fichter out on again. I'm calling her out again. Sorry, I don't mean to scare you when I do that. But she uses these brilliantly. She's got a lot of this kind of thing, and she uses them in a variety of ways. In no time, if you just cut that St. Jude's thing off, it's a beautiful little place for a note card. It's colorful. If you're doing Valentine's Day or love your pet or just something bright and summery or purple, it doesn't even have to go, but there's all kinds of things that this would be useful for. Just because it has this on it doesn't mean it's useless. Journaling cards, collages, things to tuck in and journal on. You know, they're just notepads. And this kind of stuff comes in serious handy. 99 cents, I got just a boatload. Some old stationery. It's got to be from the late 70s, early 80s, right? I don't recognize that particular character. Oh, but look at those guys. It almost looks like Susie Zoo. It is not. But that kind of thing. Nice lined paper for journaling space or tuck-ins. Fold it in like a letter and tuck it in. And anytime you can add a layer of interactivity to your journals, especially if you're giving them away or selling them or sharing them in any way, is so much fun for the people who are using it and discovering it. There's always something new to discover. So these kinds of things come in super handy for that. I would just cut a couple of those out just to have the critters because they're so adorable. So lots. Cool little greened out daisy in the back. Let's just see. Since we're going through it, let's just see what we got. I'm just going to keep these all in this bag for ease of storage. I can see through it. I know what's in here. Here's just some cards. It's like paper that's been cut almost to index card size. Here's a few smaller bits. Stamp on them. Use them as tiny journaling cards. Use them as bases for small collages. They're not quite the right size for artist trading cards, but if you have artist trading cards size base, use these for the artwork, and the base is sort of a frame behind it. So there's lots of those. This one is about empty and they got junk all over it, so I'm gonna and it's full of butterflies, so I'm just gonna junk that one completely. Look at this tiny little, this looks very vintage to me. It's probably not big into real estate. It looks very political to me too. Paint over it. Take those beautiful acrylic colors that you just got and scrape paint and throw stuff at it, both sides, cover that crap up, and you have a cute little notebook to tuck into another project or have as a standalone. You don't have to look at what's there. Fall related, spring related. Now I have a primary colors project, so I would probably cut out that border or otherwise cover that up. Just glue a piece of paper right over that so it has this nice frame around it, but something I can use rather than what I don't want to look at. And there's truckloads of them. Fun borders. Just cut the borders off and glue that to something. Christmas, winter, spring, more of that other. That's fun. A little corner bit up there, and just glue a sentiment here. Done. All for the low price, Bob, of 99 cents. I'm gonna put the blank stuff somewhere else because which of these things does not belong? Almost done with this bag. Another pretty napkin. Hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas. Started a hydrangea project, collecting for a hydrangea project. Another little tiny stamp. It's just a misshapen ring. You could draw that so much faster than you could stamp it, so why bother? Colored, brightly colored photo corners. These are so fun. 59 cents. Looks like there's some other colors in here too. Some black ones, some white ones, or clear, and then the colored ones. That's pretty cool. I've never seen them bright colored like that, so that's a nice find. And a beautiful Santa Speaks. The wit and wisdom of Santas across the nation. It just looked like a fun Christmas book. I put Christmas books out at Christmas time, my Christmas book collection, and so this is a new addition to that. It is from 1995, and it's just fun pictures of Santa. Look at him drawing his beard. Oh, look at there. And then, you know, there's pictures of Santa you don't want to see. Oh my God. Former wrestling star, Santa, Classy Freddie Blassie, flexes his muscles in preparation for handing out gifts at the Salvation Army's Veterans Residence in Queens, New York. Funny stuff. It'll be fun to peruse. Beautiful book, 99 cents, in pristine condition, 30 years old. Not quite 30 years old. What on earth would I use these for? I love glasses. I wear glasses all the time. A lot of them are black. They have these cute little holes in there. So I could easily fold them in half and attach them as book bling. I'm doing a book about a journal about writing and writers and writing implements and whatnot. And having a cute little pair of glasses hang off the spine would just be fantastic. That's what I'm going to use that for. End of bag number 1. They're not all that full, so don't panic. You know, I don't know. I honestly don't know what got into me. I just kept buying and buying and buying. Usually there's a part of my brain that says, you don't really need it. Usually there's a part of my brain that remembers the sign on my door that says, room full to capacity. No more shit. Thank you. The management. Posted right on my door. Usually my brain remembers that and I put it down and I put it down and I will leave. And that day, everything I picked up, oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, napkins? Sure. Oh, wrapping paper with paw prints on it? Yes, please. Where do I sign? And it just kept going. I don't know where that part of my brain was, but it was not active. Polka dotted fabric. I love polka dots. Love, love, love. I especially love black and white polka dots. So 59 cents. It's not brand new. There's a little bit used, but that's all right. I love this. 29 cents. I believe there's a date in here. 1964. Coats and Clerks of thread making fame with red heart quality yarns. I just love all the vintage pictures. It doesn't have to be in a sewing or crochet book. It can go in any vintage project. Those vintage hairdos and the vintage ladies. I've seen wonderful journals just of the 50s, even though this is 60s. Do one of the 60s. Beautiful makeup, beautiful hairstyles, funny little hats, vintage crochet items. Love the ads that are in there and the vintage sewing notions. But that was 59 cents. Loved it. Here's another one. This is from 1968. And the person who bought it in 1968. So fun. Vintage fashion. A lot of people like to make paper dolls, cut them out, and then dress them up funny. You know, try a vintage one. Try something a little different if you're doing that kind of thing versus doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now that's a fantastic vintage image. Beautiful for texture. So there's lots of uses for this. I love the colors here. That was 59 cents. This one's 99 cents. And I think it's just, I think it's a scrapbooking thing. Took my tool cart downstairs, so I have to use my good scissors for this. My crap scissors are downstairs. I shouldn't say crap, they're brand new and they're excellent. They're not crap at all, but they're my general use scissors. I think these are just 4x6 frames of all different colors that you would put a 4x6 picture on and slap in a scrapbook. Now, again, this is enough paper here to do a miniature journal. It's a little bit bigger than that one I just had, but when you get something like this that's already pre-cut to size, so many pages, see it as all-in-one. I could do a whole little gingham something or other, little tiny journal of all gingham pages. Use them as is, use them as journaling cards, decorate the front, write on the back. They could be tipped in, just taped in so that you have an extra page in your journal. Even if it's not this size, it's always fun to have something that's a little different in your journal. So if your journal pages are not quite 9x6 and you have this little guy in there, it just adds a layer of interest. Oh, I saw purple. Yay, purple. And then seemingly one of every color of the spectrum. It can also be cut out, use as page edging, tabs, anything you use material for. You can use these pattern papers for. Had to have this cocktail stickers. And I'm pretty sure I had to have these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a requirement. 99 cents. And I love them. Some really old sequins. They were 19 cents, 8mm. I bought it more for the vintage sewing packaging than I did for the sequins, but I love these kind of sequins. I've used them a lot over the course of my life, and I just love them. Not sure why I bought this, other than it's purple for my purple project. It's hand, I think, is that cross stitch, I believe? It looks like it's hand cross stitched by the special needs school in Bulgaria. 59 cents. And it looks old, kind of like a bookmark. It's got nice fringed little edges on it, so it could be a bookmark in my purple project. I don't know. I was just buying everything I touched. This is foam tape. This is good if you want to raise something up a little bit off of something like pop dots. Look for this stuff at your thrift stores because it works the same. It just gives you, in a pinch, I've used folded pieces of cardboard or multiple skinny pieces of cardboard that I have glued on top of each other to make a gap. But something like this works so much faster. Just double-sided foam tape, 59 cents. This is a crop in style. Purple and black. I love these Maleficent colors. One of my favorite color combinations of all time. Purple and black. It looks like it's never been used. Brand spanking new. Place for scissors and pens or brushes. Probably pens, pencils, crochet hooks, sewing material. I mean, this is like a shower caddy, but for craft stuff. Little pouches here. For tall things, sharp things. Inside the pouches are pockets. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. There's a front pouch. So since most of my stuff is going to be in the basement, and since I like to go out to my aunt's house and craft with her, I wanted something like this where I could have all my tools in one place. I have another thing, though, that I really like too, so I have to see which one works better. I'd show you that now, but this is going to be a really long video. I'll save that for another day. But it's really cute and I love it, so I'm going to keep everything and figure out good uses for them. It's totally impulsive. The whole day was totally impulsive. $1.59. This has more Really cool napkins. You can cut off and just use the plaid. I love the little Christmas truck. I love that it's white or gray, something a little bit different than the little red truck, little red truck, little red truck all the time. It's nice to mix it up. Now they have these fun little plates. Certainly could cut these out, although it's, you know, they're dimensional, so I don't know how they would work on, you know, if you did cut them out, if they'd flatten out nice. But certainly you could cut out parts of them, cut out the flat part of the truck, or just use them as plates. There's a couple great big ones in there as well. I'm a little leery about using plates from somebody else's house. I've watched hoarders. I know how people live. So I don't know how that's all going to go. I don't need any paper at all for anything. This was $1.59. But it's super thin. I might be able to use it as sort of tracing paper. It's aged. It's very yellowy, given this is new copy paper versus whatever is in here. You can see how much thinner it is. This one you can see through. This one you really can't. And there's just a truckload of it. Plus it's got sort of a different texture. So just using it as pages for a different sound and feel inside a journal would be cool. Great for painty papers. I'm going to try all kinds of things with it and see what works best. But I liked it because there's a lot of it and it's nice and aged. And I love these giant, they're either 1.5 gallon or 2 gallon bags. These come in really handy for storing my own stuff. So I'll put this with my papers and then save the bag. Same thing with the bag from the little truck napkins and whatnot. I love these giant bags. This was $2.99. Not big into scrapbooking anymore, but just lots and lots of paper for $3 to have all these different kinds of paper. These are little cherries and they've got glitter on them. They're so cute. What else do we have? It's kind of a gray flannelly looking and double-sided. I don't have any double-sided scrapbook paper that I know of, and it's so nice. There's so many things you could do with double-sided paper, folding this way and that, and voila, there's a 16 pocket little something or other. And it's way more fun to do that stuff. I love this red, white, and blue with yellow, sort of vintagey. Isn't that awesome? That alone, that little piece was almost worth the entire $3. Very cool. This has newsprint on it and pinkish paper and this beautiful pattern. Plain on the other side. It's from Hip Huggers. pinkpaisley.com Pop Fashion Collection. I don't know if it came that way or they cut it that way, but I love it. I love the paper, so there's that. And it's such a wide variety. You know, usually when you buy a pack of paper, you get everything in these colors or everything in this style. You don't get this style with this style. You don't get grunge and pop art all in the same pad. You have to get lots and lots of different pads. So for $3, lots of different things. Nice heavier piece. Some sort of snowflakey blue. Some funky 70s stripes. Purple. Holiday stuff. Marble. Plaid. I mean, holy moly. Let's see if we can just do a quick flip of these bigger ones. Alphabet. Ooh, I like that. I didn't really even realize that was in there. Lots of things you can do with alphabet. I guess there's more stickers back here. More alphabet stickers and miscellaneous stickers. Now, is that all? Stickers. And then just all kinds of different papers. How fun. Some are coordinating. Like that would go with that bright blue, white, and yellow that was a little bit earlier. I have this from other projects, so this will coordinate with the stuff I already have. Little flip-flops, teeny tiny little flip-flops, and bikinis, and Hawaiian shirts, and drink umbrellas or beach umbrellas, bathing trunks. I love that for my vintage lake project. This is for anything 70s or fall. And these 12 by 12 papers, again, there's a million different videos online how to fold a 12 by 12 paper into some really cool stuff. Or use one 12 by 12 sheet to make 3 coordinating projects. So I have a good 12 by 12 collection of my own. This will add nicely to it. In fact, I may have, well, no, and the pads are never quite the same. They might have some of the same patterns, but that one is the only one that I have. That would go good in Ugly Betty. That's a lot of stuff to play with for $3. Wouldn't that go nice together? I think that would go beautiful. How I have all my 12 by 12 papers sorted is by color. All the oranges together, oranges and yellows together, red and greens together, purple and blues together, black and white together, and browns together. So I would organize all of those that way. This was another $2.99 one. So are you adding up? How much are we up to now? But everything, almost, I would say everything that you can use for scrapbooking, you can use for junk journaling and have way more fun with it. Now these are die cut. They look like they're stickers. This one said smile. This one would go great in the vintage lake book. Girls, no, excuse me, grins and smirks, smile stickers, some beautiful sort of tie-dyed, and they're all different. Oh, those are photo corners, but oh my goodness, look at all the fun stuff in here. This whole book is stickers and sticker skeletons. Just because you use the sticker doesn't mean you can't cut that out and use the skeleton. They look pretty cool. I use them in my daily glue book. You can see those in the recent flip through I did of that. This would be great page edging, all stickers. And if you don't like it, you know, like if it's just obnoxious, paint it. Paint whatever you want on it, and then you have your own custom sticker. That's cool. Here it says just hanging out stickers. Cut off the word stickers and just use the just hanging out phrase to stick to something. But there's all colors, and what this also is good for if you're just starting junk journaling and doing painty papers and that kind of thing, gel plate printing and whatnot. This is great inspiration for that. Color schemes, color combinations, different textures to use stripes and polka dots and wood grain, and there's just all kinds of stuff that can be used for inspiration, not just physically using the stuff, but use the colors, the patterns, the themes for inspiration for your own project. Even some tags are in here. This would be a great sticker skeleton. These round ones, how fun. And then papers in front, coordinating papers. Look how gorgeous these are. Fan-flippin-tastic. So, you know, maybe I didn't lose my mind. Maybe it was just a really good day. Look at that one, all black with the spectrum behind it. That is so fun. Scrapey paint some black paint on a paper and then do colored dots of each of the colors of the rainbow. How fun is that? Love it. And then, of course, it has scrapbooking kit 1, 2, 3 page layout ideas and how they want you to lay it out. But this is your book. You don't have to follow their rules. Not at all. And then this thing, this has a seriously heavy-duty acetate. This would make great pockets, so you can, when you tuck stuff in, you can still see it. This is really fun stuff to play with. You could make your own stencil, draw a design on here, take your X-Acto knife and cut it out, and then have your own custom made stencil that not everyone else has. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I'm a big fan of Marjolaine Baston. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Watercolor. She was really, really big in the 80s. She's still doing wonderful watercolor work. This is her style. This is her work. Her watercolor words. It's a gift bag. 59 cents. Marjolaine. Marjolaine Baston, Bastin. This I got to either fussy cut out the beautiful stuff, or use it as a deconstruct it and use it as a journal cover. Little ladybug on the you know, it's those little fun attention to details. He's right on the bottom because they show up in the damnedest places. So that was 59 cents. This is the next bag, and this one is filled with tins. I love this vintage looking tin. 59 cents. I love it when the lids come off easy. Easy peasy. These are great for storage for the craft room. I like just looking at them. If I can't see inside it, generally I forget what's inside it. So it's best if I don't stick stuff in there. I just put it with my other vintage tins because I like the way they look. Oh, I love the Swiss Colony and the little Chris Mouse. I love this. Again, the lid comes off really easy. Most of the things that I have my Christmas stuff in are stored in Christmas tins, in Christmas totes. So the Christmas ones will go in the Christmas totes for my Christmas projects. Can you say Christmas one more time, please? Christmas. Thank you very much. This one, I don't think these two pieces go together, but they were together and I liked it, so I got it. So the lid doesn't come off very easy, but they're vintage Christmas caravans. Look how cute. They're so cute. Christmas campers. And another Swiss Colony lid. Now, it fits, but not well. But I couldn't find the lid that went with it, so this is the one I have. I have a Swiss Colony lid with a camper bottom. I love these big ones that are hinged. Seems to me it's always all the ones I have so far are Wishmans, because they just open so nicely. Slide open and the lid doesn't flop off and go somewhere. So I like storing stuff in here. But this one has cross stitch on it. Not a big fan. Really not a fan of the nutcrackers. They creep me out. So I will probably paint this one so I can use it every day, not just at Christmas. There's the lid. I like this tall, skinny one. I love that. And that lid just barely goes, it just sits on top. Super easy. Christmas colors. I don't have to use it for Christmas though. And this one was $1.59. I don't know why it was so much more expensive. It is huge, but it is not hinged. But it's black, opens easy, and I love it. All of these are going to be storage in the craft room. St. Vincent's has rearranged their store, and they used to have all their books in the main part of the store. Well, they decided for whatever reason that they're going to go ahead and put the books in this tiny little room in the back. Well, that's just fine and dandy if you're the only one in there. But if you go in with your cart and someone else shows up, well, you and your cart are now trapped in the little book nook because there's more than one person in there. If no carts are involved, 3 or 4 people, but you're on top of each other, and that drives me bananas. I will leave, go look at other stuff, and come back. But most people just get right on top of you because they want to see what you're looking at. Oh my God. Wait your fucking turn. Pardon my French. Back off. There's other stuff to look at. Go find it and come back. And I did that several times, and the place was just packed for some reason. Everyone was a reader that day. So I went back after I checked out. Book Nook was empty, and I didn't have a cart to deal with either. So I went back and I got these books. I have a nice collection of about 8 or so of this version of the Nancy Drew stories in way better shape than this one. I won't tear up mine. I won't use mine for craft projects, but I found this one for 99 cents. So I will use this for an altered book. This would be great for the Vintage Lake book because I read these when I was out at my grandparents' cottage when I was a little kid. So I have no problem tearing apart one that's already in very rough shape. It's already taped here, but I can take that spine off, use these covers, make a bigger spine for a Vintage Lake journal. I could do that. There's a lot that I could do with this, and for 99 cents, I'm willing to tear it up or do with somebody else has already, you know, the pages are torn. It's a discarded book from the library. It's seen better days. There's some more tape there. You know, she's pretty sad. For my dog book collection, What Your Dog Can Teach You About Living a Happy Life. Dogs don't bite when a growl will do. Most people that get bit by dogs is because they don't pay attention to the dog's warning of a growl. I don't want you to poke me with a stick. I don't want you to take my toys. I don't want you to sit that close to me. I don't want you to stare me down. I don't want you to pick me up by my ears. They growl and growl and growl and growl and growl and growl. And the last thing they'll do, most dogs, is bite. It's their last defense. That's all they have left. We can learn a lot by them. Dogs aren't afraid to get their paws dirty. They listen deeply, even if they don't understand. They know how to love purely. They scratch where it itches. They forgive very easily. They don't compare themselves to others. Dogs know how to live. We could learn a thing or two from our best friends. So I'm looking forward to reading it and to getting some dog wisdom from it. Dogs are happy. They show love openly. They love to play. They're real and true friends. Dogs aren't shy about saying hello. Dogs know how to love. They adapt to change. And look at those faces. This would be a fantastic read. Can't wait to read it. I think most of the books are 99 cents unless marked otherwise. The older ones are a little bit more. I love this Complete Guide to Gluing. The Complete Guide to Gluing. For those of us who are glue book obsessed, didn't I have to buy this book even though it was $1.59 and it's from Saginaw? I always wonder how these things end up here. It is from 1966 and it's all about gluing everything. Auto body parts. I almost said body parts. It comes with this lovely little library tag that I can pop out of there with a library card. How cool is that? Original and vintage all at the same time. What I thought I would do is cut the spine apart, make however much bigger of a spine that I want, and make my own custom little glue book. Look at these wonderful vintage pictures. So I can use the innards for vintage projects. Great. These charts and whatnot are really good for Marguerite Miller type collages. That adds a lot to a masterboard or a collage of any sort. Some really good, look at that lawn chair, patio furniture made from car parts, I'm assuming. I wonder, I've probably over assumed there, but some kind of recycled material. Guide to Gluing Everything. So Guide to Gluing, I love it. I'll come back to that one. $1.99, Feldman's 55th Song and Dance album. The songs are from the 1940s, 30s. This one's 1936, 1930, 1949. But what I like about it is that it's serious music. It's not one note for every 3 inches like a play school or romper room music book for beginners. This is serious music. And I think that when you're using music pages in journals or in collages, when it's more complicated like this, you really get the feeling that it's music and not just notes on a page. To me, there's a big difference between a couple notes on the page and music. And I love that it's so old. You know, even if it was printed in the 1950s, does it have a... Oh, and it was printed in London, England. Isn't that wonderful? Somebody bought it in 1995 from, I think it says Tavistock Market. And then there's this beauty, French music. Paris. And this is old. Holy moly, is this old. This is from 1923. Look how lovely. That's what happens when you use Scotch tape eventually. So let's just talk about that for a second. I see people using Scotch tape and masking tape to build their journals, to construct their junk journals instead of good glue or good tape. They just use masking tape and Scotch tape. This is what happens. Yes, it's 100 years, but if you're making a journal that you want to stay, use the stuff that's going to stick around for a little while. It doesn't have to survive the Holocaust, but it should survive use and a few years, especially if you're selling your stuff. Don't just put it together with Scotch tape and masking tape. But from a junk journaler's point of view, this is beautiful. You know, it's all a matter of perspective. There's some handwriting in it that's 100 years old or so. Again, it's already torn, so I have no problem tearing this 100-year-old pages out. They're already coming out and falling apart. I have no problem using something like this in a junk journal. That this tape just crumbles. It peels off. The shiny stuff peels off and just leaves the acidic tape behind. How cool is that? All right, so that was what I went back for when I went back into the book department. And finally, we're finally there to that last bag. And the whole reason I go into St. Vinny's anymore, because why? I don't need anything, right? I've read the sign. I've lived in this overstuffed room. I don't need anything. But they might have some Tim Holtz goodies. Tim Holtz alcohol inks. Ranger. Oh, I don't have the color on here. If they do, it's covered up. 99 cents per. Most of them were 99 cents. Different colors. I'd say that's a brown, green, red, different brown. I've been wanting to make, well, actually did, and of course I can't find it right now. I experimented with my homemade alcohol inks. I made all different colors, but I didn't have any brown. So I mixed all my colors together with some coffee and made my own brown alcohol ink, homemade, to make vintage, to make this stuff. Tape that looks like this from New Tape. You can use alcohol inks to age new tape so that you can use faux vintage tape in vintage journals. And I love that idea. And I have a project that I'm working on that I would really like to use some vintage Scotch tape with. Didn't have the brown. Mixed all my colors together because they neutralize each other out. Anyway, now I have several browns and a blue and a white. This is Pinata Color Blanco alcohol ink. Oh, it is white alcohol ink. Yay, look at me. Hang on. Stick around. Orange, a darker red, a different blue, Distress Oxide, Picket Fence, Distress Ink. Excuse me, I said oxide by habit. It's Distress Ink, Picket Fence, white. That's fantastic. And a lighter orange. This is a scrapbook.com red re-inker. So it's just red ink. Distress Oxide, Speckled Egg, So Tim Holtz, however many alcohol inks, Dilutions, ink spray, peony blush. I can almost read. Peony blush, a nice, what looks to be a hot pink Dilutions ink spray, embossing powder, which is fun, acid free. You know, that always comes in handy. Clear embossing ink to go with the embossing powder, and black, white, and bright yellow Dilutions paint. Blendable acrylic paint for creative journaling, art journaling, painty paper, scrapey papers, painting covers of junk journals. I mean, there's loads one can do with that. So I finally hit the mother load of brand name stuff at St. Vinny's. Now you know why it cost so much and why I found these first. And then everything after that, I guess I was probably just high. Like, oh, sure, I'll take that. Yeah, that's beautiful. It all looks so good. Just give it to me all. I'll take it all. Everything I touch, I think I need. And here we are. Can you guess how much I spent? Anybody? Anybody? Put your best guess. Rounding up to the nearest dollar. Whoever comes closest or under, I will send some kind of happy mail out to you for playing along and for sitting through this ungodly long haul video. As I said, this may be the last video that I do in this space. I am moving studio downstairs. This may be the last junk journal one, although I've got a lot of stuff here that I want to show you, so maybe not. I don't know. Stay tuned so you can see the new setup. I'm very excited. I found a free table on the Facebook Marketplace that is so perfect, I can't even tell you. It's huge and it's gorgeous, and it was free for the taking. If you want to see pictures, go to the community tab and or over to the Patreon page where you can see all kinds of pictures there and all kinds of freebie stuff. Stay tuned there. Speaking of my move, I just want to say that because of the move, I'm not going to be recording as much right now because I just don't have the time to do it all. I'm having to do a lot more at my parents' house these days, which is fine. But that's, you know, every minute I'm away from here is less that I can do here. But I do have several videos that I recorded and just never got to post for whatever reason. I got on to the next thing and did something new and had something timely. And I'm going to clean that up, edit those up so that hopefully I will still be posting, but it'll be a mishmash. It'll be some things from late last summer, I think, because I had some haul videos that I recorded and never posted, that kind of thing. So stay tuned. In the interim as well, if you would be kind enough to maybe go back into the library, there's over 300 videos on this channel. If you're new to the channel, go back and binge watch. There's lots and lots of playlists for your binge watching ease. If you want to watch videos on just one topic, there are playlists. If you go to my channel, My Take at the Lake, the homepage, at the top of the homepage, there's all kinds. You can see home videos, shorts, playlists, membership, I think, community tab, but hang out at the channel. And if you're thinking, well, I haven't seen a My Take at the Lake video in a bit and I'm hankering for some Krabby Crafter stuff, please help me keep the channel going whilst I'm away and check out the older videos and the playlists and maybe revisit some of your favorites. I have a playlist of viewer favorites I will post at the end of this video to get you started. Thank you for your patience. Go love up your beastlies. You have a lovely, lovely crafty day. My Take at the Lake. Out for now.